public transport. Public transport is the most crucial thing. It's everything in a city. You see, for the longest time, the city have been making this mistake over and over. Instead of focusing on public transport, the city have been working so hard to construct superhighway, to construct underpass, to construct flyover, and to construct bypass, all in the name of reducing and making sure there will be no congestion in city. Well, else we should be working so hard to try and promote public transport. You see, the best thing of public transport is this: you require very small place to construct whatever you are constructing. You require very small place for a public transport. If I construct a railway line, it will be able to support even 20 to 30 train in a day passing there, and a train will be carrying 1,000 or even 2,000 passenger every time. Let's take for example, one train will be carrying 1,000 passengers. 1,000 passengers, if they were to drive, they will be driving in how many car every person to, let's say in those developed countries where you find a family have 2 cars. So let's take these people are going to work. Those are 1,000 cars which should be in highway. It doesn't matter how big or how large your highway it is. Well, it will work today, it will work tomorrow, but people will keep buying car. So to a certain point, this highway will not be able to support these people, and that's where the city keep going long. You find that when our highway starts having this huge jam, instead of thinking beyond and thinking on how to try and make a public transport, you find city are buying more property so that we can demolish houses to build more highway. The issue comes, we demolish houses, we build more highway. Yes, people will be driving through those highway at a very high speed without that much of congestion, because congestion will be there. It doesn't matter whether it's just for sometimes when people are on stopover or what, but it will be there. On contrary, public transport will be moving. Let's take for a train. A train will be moving unless it's on a station where it's picking and dropping people. And the best thing with public transport, it's easy to manage them, because if I'm going somewhere, I will check on my train and I see that from point A to C that this train will stop at point B. When this train stop at point B, it takes around 15 minutes so that it can proceed to point C. So from point A to B to C to B, it take 10 minutes. From point C to B, it do take 10 minutes. So I'll do my math and find that it's 20 minutes and 15 minutes layover. That will be 35 minutes. So wherever I'm going, all I need is to be in train that 5 minutes earlier, and I'll be at my place or at the workplace by the time. By the 5 minutes, I'll be there. On contrary, when I take my car and drive on road, I don't know what can happen. I can drive and find there is an accident which have occurred, and that one you cannot foresee. Or I can drive and find that, oh, the road have been closed, or maybe there was some kind of sinkhole and the road have been temporarily closed, and or you find that there was some occasion which was going on and there is a traffic jam. That is the uncertain which we need to solve, but the city don't want. Actually, the worst thing is city want to keep constructing this superhighway. Why? I think it's because that when this big company which manufacture car contribute a lot on city. So they don't want the car to be obsolete. They don't want this public transport to be the best. Because when it will be the best, I will not buy the newest car. I will not buy a car. Because let's take place, for example, people in Netherlands. It's not that you cannot afford a car in Netherlands, but majority of people don't own a car. Mostly on Amsterdam, because why would I own a car? I can hop on train and drive and go where I'm going. I can cycle all over. But when you go to this other country, you find that people don't have that opportunity. Let's take for example in US, there is no any public transport which is working, and if it's working, it's very old, dilapidated. It's just look like it's not something appealing, because where the public transport fare is, you might be efficient and everything, but do you offer comfort? Because for me to leave my new Range Rover to go and hop on a train or maybe on a bus, it have to be giving me something special. It have to be giving me this comfort which I was getting on my car. And the other issue is, you find those cities which are trying, they buy buses, but they put this bus on the same road with a private car. So what happened? When you are on a traffic, the same bus is on a traffic, and that's why you find those countries where people have buses, but they have no dedicated lane for the buses. People don't take a bus, and the only people who ride a bus to work, they are only those who are poor people. Actually, it's only for poor people, and people have that perspective that if you ride a bus, you are very poor. And this is something the city is failing to do. We are supposed to come up with idea how to change the mentality of the people, because me hopping on a train, me taking a ride on a bus or a train doesn't mean I'm poor. That is some mentality the government should deal with, but we don't want to deal with it because we can keep demolishing houses. Then we face another crisis. When we demolish these houses, we find that we are having an issue with housing. We don't have enough housing. Instead of saving this highway, demolish this highway, build some railway track. The best thing with railway track, we will build our subway, which will be passing underground. Then this space which is remaining, we can construct affordable housing. And by doing so, we will save on money, we will save on climate, and top of that, we will create more housing for our people. Because the population is increasing day in, day out. The number of people in this world are increasing, and the number of house being constructed are decreasing. And those countries where people are still constructing housing, we are encroaching on either natural land or on farming land. What will happen after some time? Will not have any land to farm. The remaining thing will just to make our food from lab. We'll be just making organic food which have been generated using chemicals. We will not be having somewhere to go and relax. There will be no park, because even if you have a park, there is a road which is passing up on the park. The park will be surrounded by road in all directions, which will be inaccessible. And if we access the park, it will be so noisy. It will not be somewhere to go and relax. And the worst thing is, when I check on this growing country, this upcoming country, they are taking the same mistake which are being made by this developed country. When you take a country in Africa, they are constructing super highway right, left, and center, so that to eliminate congestion. One thing I have learned is this: it doesn't matter whether you construct 24 lane or that 4-lane highway. The fact that you have constructed it only takes 2 or 3 years at most to be congested. And the worst thing, you find that this country now are constructing a private road where you pay to pass by. It's trying to take congestion away, but on the other hand, it's reducing the number of people who are using this road, because you are paying to use the road. Instead of the government to be serving it people, it's serving the rich. The only solution for our city is public transport. Let's take, for example, you take a 10 lane superhighway. We can demolish that 10 lane superhighway. It will give us 2 lane will be used for railway track. Then another 2 lane will be used for cycling. Then the another 2 lane may be used for motorcycle or something like that. First of all, we will save 2 more lane, and since this was 8 lane both sides, so it was total of 16 lane. We will save 12 lane, which can be used to construct houses, which can be used to construct a park, which can be used to construct a walking path or a jogging track, or even to plant trees so that we can increase amount of greenery. But instead of that, we keep cutting down trees to construct more road, and our children are growing. So you find that before it was me and my wife, we were driving 2 car. Then when my children get older, let's say I have 2 children, I'll buy another 2 car, so my family will have 4 car on the road. Then when this family, either these 2 child get married, you find that when they get their children, they will have more car. So, and you'll find that since lifespan have increased, before I die, I will have like 3 or 4 generation, and in all those generation will be driving. And since I have not died, you find that my car is still on the road, my children's car is on the road, my grandchildren's car is then on the road, my great grandchildren's car is still on the road. Do we have this or do we have this space to construct this superhighway so that they can support all this car? No. But do the city want to know? No. They will wait until the day it will be beyond any upgrade. That when you find that city will start constructing and being serious on public transport. We have a public transport, we will solve a lot of issues. Public transport, the first thing, is very reliable. Public transport, and other thing, it avoid a lot of accident.